Hello viewers, myself is Dr. Neeta and you are watching my channel Learn Literature with Dr. Neeta. So let us begin today's topic. Hello dear students, today we will learn about authorial intrusion. As all of you know that for the better understanding of a drama or a novel, it is very essential to understand the various elements related to the narrative technique, dramatic structures and the dramatic techniques. So, this authorial intrusion has been prescribed in your syllabus as the part of dramatic elements. So, let us begin with this. So, first we will learn about its meaning and definition. So, what is intrusion? First we would learn about intrusion. Intrusion is a kind of situation in which a person becomes involved in a situation where he is not wanted or he does not belong. It means he is intruding his presence in a certain situation. As all of you know that intrusion is always a forceful kind of thing. The person is not welcomed there, but he is involving himself intentionally in that situation. And now, what is authorial intrusion? It is when the author intrudes on or interrupts the flow of the story with his or her own comments. So, that is authorial intrusion. So, authorial intrusion, it means the author is intruding itself. As the story is moving forward, the author is coming up and he is trying to make his presence felt by the reader. In that sense, he is trying to intrude with his own comments in the story, and he replaces the other characters and he begins to address the readers directly, and in that matter he tries to establish a relationship with him. It is well known that this word intrusion is used mainly in negative connotations. It is not considered, this quality of intruding into any situation is not considered to be a good quality. But as far as authorial intrusion is concerned, it is a kind of literary device which is used for the different purposes. So, here we would study for what purposes this intrusion is used. Intrusion provides commentary on the events of the novel or the drama. It offers additional information and it creates a specific narrative effect. So, this is we would discuss the purpose of authorial intrusion in a little bit detail. It engages the reader when the author is intruding and saying something in the story. It creates a conversational tone. It means he establishes a very good rapport with the reader and making the reader feel directly addressed and involved, and reader automatically gets involved into it. One purpose is like this. Another purpose, it may highlight the themes or the moral points the author wants to stress. Sometimes the theme is visible, no doubt in the narrative the theme gets visible, certain morals also get visible, but to highlight those themes and moral points, the author intrudes or makes his presence possible in the narrative and he stresses those points. So, the purpose of highlighting the theme. Sometimes authorial intrusion provides historical, social or cultural context that might be outside the immediate narrative. Sometimes what happens, the readers are not well versed about the historical, social and cultural context of the story, and even the characters who are there in the story are not strong enough to describe all those situations. At that place, the authorial intrusion is used as a technical device and the author himself talks about the historical, social and cultural context. It shows authorial presence by reminding the reader of the author's hand in crafting the narrative. So, it is also a kind of device which makes the presence of reader possible, and it is felt by the reader, and in that case it adds a layer of metafiction. It means metafiction is also a kind of reminder to the reader that they are reading a constructed story, and the story has been constructed by this author. When the author automatically intrudes into the conversation, the reader gets reminded of his presence, and they are also reminded of the fact that they are merely reading a constructed story. So, in that matter, authorial intrusion adds richness and depth to a narrative. Now, with the help of two examples, we would understand it. So, for example, the first example is Jane Austen's famous work Pride and Prejudice, and in it she uses authorial intrusion for the purpose of making commentary on the contemporary society. So, the famous comment from the book, "For what do we live but to make sport of our neighbors and laugh at them in our turn." So, though the statement has been made by Mr. Bennet, but in fact it is a statement of Jane Austen. It is the ideology of Jane Austen who is giving a comment on the contemporary society, that in this society we all are having the habit of laughing at the follies of our neighbors. So, this comment is the example of authorial intrusion, and through this comment we come to know how author is intruding his or her ideology in the narrative. Another example is from Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller is very famous for giving stage directions in his dramas, and he provides detailed descriptions of characters, motivations and background in that stage direction, which are not always evident from the dialogue alone. And so, characters, motivations and background, they cannot be understood by the audience merely with the help of the acting of the characters. So, for that purpose Miller comes and through the authorial intrusion, through his stage directions, he talks about characters, motives and the different backgrounds that are essential to understand the story. For example, he describes Joe Keller's character as having a peasant like common sense. So, when he says that this is a man who is having a peasant like common sense, the audience automatically gets the idea what kind of man Joe Keller would be. Otherwise, the reader or the audience would not be able to get that idea merely with the help of the acting made by the characters. So, authorial intrusion is also giving a description of the character's motivation and background. Authorial intrusions help the directors and actors understand the characters' deeper motivations and ensures audience grasps the thematic structure. So, these kind of authorial intrusions are helpful for the actors, as they can easily act in the manner in which the dramatist wants them to. It is also helpful for the director because they can direct the drama, that they can direct the play in the manner in which the author wants them to, and it is also helpful for the audience because they are capable of grasping the things in the way in which the author wants to present them. So, authorial intrusion is used as a technical device by the dramatist and the story writers very well to express their own ideology about the things. So, thanks for your patience listening.